Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. Appreciate you coming over here to hang out with me, man. Today, we're going to be talking about the film Masters of the Universe. That's the first thing to talk about. This is called Masters of the Universe. This is not called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, as the classic cartoon was titled, and what I thought was called going into it. Apparently, it is just called Masters of the Universe, man. So we're going to be talking about that film, how it all worked out, how it looks, how it is, as a good job, free of spoilers, of course, the Jared Leto of it all and all that stuff, man. We'll talk about performances and all that stuff as we get into the film. Again, free of spoilers and all that stuff. And we'll probably jump into some news, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and throw up the poster for you YouTube viewers. There you go. And we give some details of the film itself. So this movie is rated PG-13 for some suggestive material, sequences of violence and action, and language. Film runs in at 2 hours, 20 minutes, and is classified as an adventure action fantasy film. There you go, man. Those are your details on the film itself. Now, I mentioned the classic cartoon He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I, however, have never seen the cartoon. I am somebody who grew up in a free of Masters of the Universe world, I guess is the way to put it. I never really bumped into that. I didn't watch it at any point in time. Never seen reruns of it or anything. I don't remember my brother watching it or anything like that. I looked it up. Its run was like 2 years, and it was ended 3 years before I was born. So it's not one of those things that I really ever ran into. Even though, like, my favorite show of all time, as you see back there, is The Addams Family, which came out decades before I was born. But it's just a long way of saying I never ran into He-Man and the Master of the Universe. I've seen memes of it. Of course, I've seen the classic, Skeletor thing where he's like, "And remember that thing." I've seen that and all that stuff. And even I love Kevin Smith, fan of Kevin Smith. I tried to watch his He-Man show that was on Netflix. It never really got into it, man. So I was going into this movie without like a deep connection to the property or anything like that. Um, just honestly going in there looking to have fun with an action, adventure film. Like, that's what this movie kind of looked like. I remember seeing the first trailer. I'm like, okay, I'm getting like Guardians of the Galaxy meets Thor vibes out of this, and I enjoy both of those properties for the most part. So why not, right? We'll get into it and all that. Didn't really know the actor playing He-Man, Adam, and I didn't. I kind of know Camila Mendez. I watched a couple episodes of Riverdale, and I know she's from that and all that stuff. And of course, know Jared Leto, and of course, I know Allison Brie and all that stuff, and Idris Alba. I know all of them. So there's actors in this movie that I know, and all that stuff. Jared Leto is hidden in the film behind costuming and work of stuff and all that and all that stuff. But we'll talk about the performance of Jared Leto in this film and all that stuff later, and the other actors and performers in this movie. The movie itself, like, the easiest thing for me to tell you about this is if you were going into this movie expecting any kind of like award bait kind of movie, that's on you, my friends. That's on you, my friends. Like I said earlier, I was going in this movie just like, all right, whatever. We're going to the movie theater to watch an action adventure film, man. And I did see two movies in theaters this week. I saw this and Scary Movie came out the same weekend. I watched both of them. Scary Movie review will be out later here on this YouTube channel. Watched this one, man, and I was, again, didn't know anything about the property, other than some pictures I've seen, and I just went in hoping to have a good time, man. I can say that I did have a good time. Like, this movie is a fun time, man. It brings me back to like Mortal Kombat earlier this year, or even the Mario film earlier this year, where I just went into it. Now, of course, I know more about Mario and Mortal Kombat, but I just went there with open mind, which you should go into all movies with open minds. But I just went in there and just was like, wow me, like, give me a show, like, give me a show, like, show me some cool action scenes, which they absolutely do. The action scenes in this movie are fantastically fun and cool, and just seeing the way they work with the CGI and the powers going against each other and the creatures and the elements and the coolness and just all the lightning and everything is like, cool, man, cool, this is awesome. This is just, I want to have a good time, and we're gonna have a good time watching all this battle and all this stuff going on, man. The story is easy to understand. They explain the stuff. I know there's a lot of people who were worried about when they saw a trailer seeing Adam on Earth and all that. They explain that easily right away for all of you to understand what's going on. And it's easy to pick up on and everything. That story's, again, very easy to follow. Again, it's not a complicated movie. It's one of those things where people say about films where, like, they don't take themselves too seriously, and that's very much this movie. It is not taking itself too seriously. It goes in there, it gives you an action movie like you want. It's dealing with mystical things, right? And all these powers and creatures. A freaking guy walking around with a skull for his head and all that stuff. Of course, we all got skulls under, the fleshy stuff and all that stuff. At least you should. But we all have, like, so, what I'm saying, like, it's just fun. Yeah, the dialogue's a little choppy at points. Okay, fine, I'm right there with it. Dialogue's a little rough at times, but there's some good dialogue in here. The comedy, fun time. You're gonna laugh your behind off at some of the comedy and all that stuff, but some of the comedy is pretty bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say all of the comedy is great by any means, but it's a good time movie, man. Like, and it's worth seeing on the big screen just to see all the way in the vibrant colors exploding when they're having the action scenes, just seeing the big battles on the screen and all that stuff. It's worth your time. It's one of the reasons why you go to a movie theater, to see a film like this and, enjoy the escapism of just watching fun and ridiculousness in front of you and all that stuff. And that's how this movie works, man. Like, it was a good, fun time film, all in all, to me, and it worked out very well. There's no, three credit scenes for this movie. Three credit scenes for this movie, man. So they have some stuff, some fun little Easter eggs and, extra content for you in this movie and all that stuff. And the score, oh my god, the score of this movie, freaking a, man. I might be my favorite part of the movie, to be honest with you. But it's like Queen meets ABBA meets Top Gun. That's what it feels like. Like, if you've seen the movie and heard the score and you've seen those other things I'm talking about, let me know if you felt the same way, because that's exactly what I was hearing. And as soon as I left theater, I'm like, boom, add that to my movie playlist. Because yes, I am a movie nerd and I have a movie playlist. But adding that to the movie playlist, let's do it in the car at full, volume. And I was like, yes, love this score, man. Such a good score. So overall, I had a good time with Masters of the Universe. Keep wanting to call it He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, but I had a good time with it. Again, I'm not 100% sure on the actor who plays Adams, He-Man. I think it's the first time I really ever watched it with him in it. I briefly know a little bit about Camila Mendez. I think she did a good job. Jared Leto. I know Jared Leto is a battle for people on the internet. Jared Leto, again, you don't really see Leto, right? You don't see him in there, but his performance is good. Like, I'll give him credit where credit is due. Like, performance is good. He's doing a really good job with it, and he's having fun with it, of course, and he's over the top and ridiculous. There's brief moments where I notice this, at least. Maybe other people notice. Maybe other people have watched this movie as much as I have, but there are moments where I recognize his Joker and some of the stuff he's doing with Skeletor. Like, there's moments that come out of that with his Joker, and fine. For the most part, if they didn't tell you it was him, you probably wouldn't know it was him. All that stuff, because he is very well hidden in the movie and all that. But a very fun performance nonetheless. And Idris Elba's always great. I mean, we know Idris Elba's always great. And Alison Brie was really good in her role as well, man. So overall, like, again, good time film, man. Like, good time movie, worth checking out in theaters. Like, it's absolutely worth checking out in theaters. Wanting to check it out again. Again, as previously mentioned, I've been listening to the score a lot for this movie, man. So that is my quick thoughts on He-Man. No, Masters of the Universe. Maybe the sequel will be called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Who knows if they do a sequel or not? They should. They absolutely should. It was a fun time, and it's getting, no matter what the box office is doing, it's getting fair reviews and all that stuff. So yes, give us another one. It'll be fun. We'll have a good time with it, man. And I don't think we have really any news to really talk about. I think we've touched on everything that needs to be talked about. I don't think anything else has really come up since the last time we've had a show here, man. So appreciate all of you hanging out with me. This is the one and only YouTube channel for me now. I used to have two YouTube channels. We are now, combining all the efforts. So there'll be Halloween Horror Night stuff on this channel and whatever else, I feel like talking about, man. Again, I do this to have fun. I don't do this for algorithms and all that stuff. We'll leave that to people who care about that stuff. I don't. I care about having a good time and finding like-minded people to, have a good time as well, talking movies or Halloween Horror Nights or whatever, man. So this is the one channel for the old Wolfman Rob and all that stuff, man. So appreciate you all hanging out with me. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, week, month, year. And I'd like to always remind you before we leave out of here that you matter. You're capable of great things. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, of course, but give yourself some peace, give yourself some love, and give yourself some time, man, because whatever needs to work out for you will work out for you. You just got to keep going and fighting for it. But appreciate you all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. There will be more stuff to come. We got the scary movie review coming up here on this channel. And again, I got a Halloween Horror Nights episode ready to come out and just more fun stuff to talk about, man. So appreciate you all as always for taking the time, and we will be back with more stuff soon. Thank you very much.